Hi everyone, it's Mitch from SportsChatPlace.com, and it is Thursday, February 14th, 2019, here with your free live show. Of course, we're here live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Our best bets always over at SportsChatExperts.com as well as SportsChatPlace.com. Premium Plus, of course, Thursday is a discount code day, and being Valentine's Day, we're going to share the love. It's going to be LOVE25. Use the discount code LOVE25. Get 25% off all of your purchases today at SportsChatExperts.com. What makes a better Valentine's gift than some expert picks over at SportsChatExperts.com, huh? How about that? Just kidding. But you guys might get thrown out of the house and maybe something said about your betting habits. But in any event, you guys can use them for your own purposes. So, of course, we do at least 3 free picks on this show every single day. Our best bets always over at SportsChatExperts.com as well as SportsChatPlace.com, Premium and Premium Plus. I'm guessing the notifications didn't go off on YouTube. That happens. I'm going to adjust the camera here. It seems a little drop low or high. One of the things, whatever the hell you call it. We're going to make an adjustment either way you slice. There we go. Should do that before the show. Those probably social media experts would tell us, you're supposed to do all that stuff before the show. Don't you hate the show? Or they say, can you hear me? Anyways, we're going to do at least 3 free picks here. Our best bets, of course, always over at SportsChatExperts.com as well as SportsChatPlace.com, Premium and Premium Plus. Another win for the Vermont Catamounts last night. Another cover. 17-5 against the number. That means we're 17-5 with our Vermont picks on this show this season. We'll take it. I'm a believer. I'm in. Anyways, do at least 3 free picks on this show every single day. Our best bets always over at SportsChatExperts.com as well as SportsChatPlace.com, Premium Plus. The NBA heading into that All-Star break, and man, do I hate the NBA All-Star break. It just seems always way too long. But yeah, it goes for a week. So it's too much. It's like, I don't know. Maybe the NFL should do an All-Star break in the middle of the season and take a week off. See if how they do. But anyways, we never take a day off. We're here 365 days a year. Our best bets always over at SportsChatExperts.com as well as SportsChatPlace.com, Premium Plus. I am still recovering. I gotta say that this recovery has been in and out. Sometimes I feel great. Other times I just feel lousy. And, today I'm going back to the doctor. I do not feel good at all. But not going to stop us from doing the show, of course, because we do our show every single day. We do at least 3 free picks. And when I say at least 3, that means we usually do more than 3. You guys know that. Do NBA picks. Oh, shoot. I messed up the title on this thing. Let's see if we can fix it. Oh, it stinks. We already did a show called this on YouTube. There we go. YouTube actually, they fixed it. Oh, that's weird. Anyways, if you're watching us on YouTube Live, if you could hit the thumbs up, it's greatly appreciated. It's certainly not mandatory. I had Minnesota in the premium area, so you can say whatever you want about them. I don't think they almost always cover. I don't think they're even close to what Vermont has done this season. Not even in the ballpark, actually. Anyways, we got booted there for a second from our video, which is fine. Yeah, Minnesota's 11-11 against the spread. I would hardly put that in the same category with Vermont. Most of the time, it's half the time. They're 11-11 against the spread. It's half the time. It's not most of the time. It's half the time. And they covered last night. So going into last night, they were actually a bad bet. Anyways, doesn't really matter. We only go by the numbers. It's not a popularity contest. I have the only team that we take all the time is Vermont. Every other team, we love them one day, we hate them the next. So certainly not a big deal, one way or another. But we do at least 3 free picks on this pick. Every single day. Our best bet's always over at sportschatexperts.com as well as sportschatplace.com Premium Plus. Got a good number of games today. We got college basketball and NBA. Let's go right to the NBA. Give out a few picks. We got the Atlanta Hawks taking on the Knicks. The Knicks just terrible this season, 10-47. The Hawks 19-38. As bad as the Hawks are winning 33% of their games, they're still twice as good as the Knicks when it comes to wins and losses. The Hawks 9-16 straight up at home, just 8-17 against the number. The Knicks 13-15 against the number on the road, 6-23 straight up. This is the worst Knicks team I have ever seen, and really they're on the level of one of the worst basketball teams that we've ever seen in the NBA. I mean, this is one of the worst runs possible. But you know what? I'm going to take the 8.5 points with the Knicks. That'll be my. Okay, we're going to have to start looking for some new streaming software because it's cutting out on us. So we will figure that out and get it done in the very near future. It's the second time that's happened. Yep, we took Miami on the money line yesterday on our show. They won outright against Clemson. We had them both. I said, yeah, just because you have the worst record does not guarantee you the first pick in the NBA draft. It guarantees you a shot in the lottery. That's it. It definitely does not guarantee you the first pick. We've seen that. It's been about 33%. So to tank your season for a 33% chance, it's really not worth it. As we do at least. Yeah, Brian, it's time for you to go, baby. It's like you can have your own show. Anyways, do at least 3 free picks. Our best bet's always over at sportschatexperts.com as well as sportschatplace.com Premium Plus. Let's do another NBA pick. This one we go to Orlando, where the Magic are taking on the Hornets. The Magic 26-32 this season. The Hornets 27-29, 12-16 against the number on the road, just 5-5 against the spread in their last 10 games. You know, the Hornets have lost 3 of their last 4 games. You know, Clippers, Mavs, and Pacers. Pretty good teams there, and especially Dallas. The Dallas game was at home. Meanwhile, they've beaten the bad teams, Chicago, Memphis, lost to Boston, beat the Knicks, lost to Milwaukee, beat Memphis. So they've gotten it done against the lesser teams. Meanwhile, the Magic quietly have won 4 in a row, 6 of their last 7 games, including wins over Indiana. They beat the Brooklyn Nets, Timberwolves. They beat the Milwaukee Bucks by 20. We got to take the Magic here, right? They're just a hotter team right now. They're home. We'll take the Magic and we'll lay the 3. That'll be our second pick for today's show. Of course, we do at least 3 free picks. Our best bets always over at sportschatexperts.com, as well as sportschatplace.com, Premium and Premium Plus. Yeah, it doesn't matter how many lottery balls you have. It's just saying that the results of the lottery don't seem to mean anything. The team with the worst record does not always get the first pick. It only happens 33% of the time. They've used a bunch of different systems. They've used a ton of different systems. Doesn't matter. It still comes out the same every single time. But anyways, do at least 3 free picks every single day. Our best bet's always over at sportschatexperts.com. Of course, you can use the discount code LOVE25. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. And get 25% off all of your purchases at sportschatexperts.com. It goes all the way from the 3-day consensus report all the way to the multi-cap or yearly packages. 25% off. It's pretty good discount. Can we get a golf pick? Here, what we'll do is, this is my golf impersonation. Well, I should write, 10 million on here. Here's Phil Mickelson holding up his $1.6 million check. I mean, what would be the point of that? They no longer show the checks. I mean, that was always remember the giant checks in, what's the Adam Sandler? Happy Gilmore, right? Where he always has the big checks. It's they don't do it anymore because it looks stupid. I mean, here's a guy with his own plane. It's, he makes $250 million in endorsements, and here he is rubbing it in our face that he made $1.6 million for playing 72 holes of golf. It's thanks. It's like David Price. They should have the cash register every time he throws a pitch, right? 20,000, 20,000, 20,000. Every pitch that he throws, 20,000, 20,000. At the end of the game, they write him a check, for his ridiculous that he makes, right? $1.2 million a game. Say, David Price, Chris Sale, J.D. Martinez, all those guys, that make all that stupid money. But anyways, we do at least 3 free picks. Our best bets always over at sportschatexperts.com, as well as sportschatplace.com, Premium Plus. I know that the feed cuts out on Facebook sometimes. That's why I always say that YouTube Live is the preferred way to watch our show, because when it cuts out on YouTube Live, it'll just come right back to the same show. On Facebook Live, it will create a new post, which sucks. And we're going to find a new software solution sooner rather than later. And like I said, LOVE25 is the discount code for today. Let's switch to college hoops. Speaking of high-priced players, we'll go to college basketball. Illinois Chicago taking on Cleveland State. Cleveland State, what a dumpster fire this team is. Coming off of a win, though, at home against Milwaukee. This is Cleveland State's 3rd home game in a row. It didn't help them in the meantime. They did have a home win against Youngstown State, but when we look at this, Cleveland State, this is their 6th home game in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, Illinois Chicago on back-to-back road games after a 3-game homestand. So UIC has won their last 3 games. Indiana, Purdue, Northern Kentucky, who very good team. All 3 of their wins in their last 3 games were as dogs, outright winners. Wright State, Northern Kentucky, Indiana, Purdue. 3 good teams. The Indiana, Purdue win, of course, coming on the road. Meanwhile, when we look at Cleveland State, the home win was against Milwaukee, and then losses to Green Bay, Oakland, Detroit, Youngstown State, a win. A loss to Wright State, 89-66. So the same team that Illinois Chicago beat. Northern Kentucky beat them by 15 at Cleveland State. I'll tell you what, I think Illinois Chicago takes care of business in this one. I'll take the Flames. I'm going to lay the 4 points, and that'll be our 3rd pick for today's show. Of course, we do at least 3 free picks every single day. When I say at least 3, that means that we usually do a bunch more because I can't control myself. I'm here giving out picks anyway. I love giving out free picks, and that's what our site is all about. Of course, on Saturdays, we take all of your questions and all of the games that we go over, regardless if they're premium picks, not premium picks, anything like that. They're all covered on the show as long as you guys ask the questions for it. So any other games, we have free picks on all of them. If you have a specific game you have a question on, we have free picks on every game at sportschatplace.com, or you can check out sportschatexperts.com and get our best bets. And, of course, on the consensus report, if there's a consensus on that specific game, you'll see how many handicappers are on each side of that game. But let's get to another free pick. Yeah, I've got this question now twice in 2 days. Do I ever bet golf? I think that when I'm really at my lowest degenerate point gambler, I do bet on golf. I always bet matchups, and 90% of the time I take the underdog. So I don't know. It's kind of like I'm bored. It's Thursday morning. I'm bored. Play a couple golf matchups. Look for some good values on the underdogs. That's pretty much the extent of my golf betting. But I rarely take any other kind of golf bets. Well, never. I never bet any other kind of golf. I know there's people that are really, really good at it, though. But anyways, let's get to another free pick. We'll head back to college hoops. So I talked to a friend of mine yesterday. I've been friends of mine forever, and he never watches our show and never really supported the site in any way. Of course, he wished me the best and all of that kind of good stuff, but he was never really like a fan of Sports Chat or anything like that. He said that I take long pauses during the show. It was like he watched one show. He was pretty critical, and we've listened to his podcast, and I gotta say, not good. So, say what you want, it's all right. I could take it. And if anything, if it's constructive criticism, of course, we always try and apply it. But I've done how many shows and videos? 5,000, something like that. 7 million people a month watch this drivel. But at least we always know what we're talking about. We're always on the pulse. We watch every game. We know everything that's going on. So how about this? Did you guys watch the Northwestern game yesterday against Rutgers? So Vic Law, they get the 5 seconds call. They're down by 1. They get the 5 seconds call, and they inbound it. Vic Law decides there's a guy wide open right on the left. He decides not to pass to this guy. It would have been a dunk, probably with a foul. So they would have the lead, and then by 1, and then an and 1 situation. Meanwhile, he decides to drive down the center of the lane. There's 5 defenders there, all 5 players on Rutgers. All 5 players on Rutgers were standing right there in the lane. I was watching with John, who's visiting. They're leaving today. They're from Chicago. John's a season ticket holder from Northwestern. And I just said to him, why in the hell would he not pass that ball to this guy? Why don't we stop it? We went over it in slow motion. We went frame by frame. We looked at every which way possible. And I just can't even figure out what was going through this guy's head. Anyways, to me, I don't know what the hell Vic Law is doing. I'm taking South Dakota State minus the 3.5 against Nebraska Omaha. I don't know. I love the Jackrabbits, and we get into this time of year, and this is Jackrabbit time. This is when the Jackrabbits they really get going. So, I know they have the one loss recently. Their last loss was they've won 9 in a row, and they won their home game by 10 against Nebraska Omaha. Nebraska Omaha has won 7 of their last 8. The only loss was this one. It was against South Dakota State. I just think that a couple of these games though have gone to overtime. A couple of the wins. I don't think they're going to be so fortunate if they get to overtime against South Dakota State, because this is a team, still a veteran team. Mike Dahm. Still there at South Dakota State. How long has Mike Dahm been at South Dakota State? Tevin King and, Skylar Flatt. And it's how long are the Jackrabbits going to do it? I think Mike Dahm must be like a 9th-year senior. We're going to take South Dakota State here. We're on the Jackrabbits. And that'll be our 5th pick for today's show. We're going to lay 3.5 big ones in this one. Of course, we do at least 3 free picks every single day. We've given out 4 so far today. We're going to keep going. Yeah, it was not a good day for my premium picks. yesterday. Happens. I was on a 14-3 run. So, I mean, no one wins forever. Nobody goes on these runs. Sometimes the bounces go against you. Sometimes, bad call. Sometimes just bad picks. I mean, I think in all of the games, the only bad pick I made yesterday, I would say, was just a team that was never in it, was South Florida. South Florida Bulls. I mean, they've been covering all season. I take them against Central Florida. They get crushed. And the thing is, I've been on Central Florida almost all season, too. So you get what you get. That's what happened to me. It's like I got crushed in that one. But, I bet some of the free picks that I gave out on the show, like Miami on the money line. We had Vermont on the show, had that one. A few of the other ones. I mean, even like the Cavaliers on the show, we got screwed on that one too, right? So it was just sometimes the bounces go your way, sometimes they don't. Sometimes it rains. Jacksonville State taking on Tennessee Tech. Tennessee Tech, not a good team. Jacksonville State, not a great team against the spread, which is kind of surprising. Just 7-7 straight up on the road and 7-6 against the number on the road. Tennessee Tech 7-18 on the season, but they, I don't know, maybe a little better cover team than what they've shown. The thing is that they were covering a bunch of games in a row, including their game at Jacksonville State, where they were getting a nice 17.5 points. Lost by Man, this show has been terrible. We've lost our connection. We've lost our connection a bunch during this show. Yeah, Phoenix does stink. I said that yesterday. I've said it a bunch of times. We mean it in the most loving way. I don't mean Phoenix as a city. I just mean the Suns. And the thing is, what bugs me about the Suns is I think that they're doing things right. And I think they're headed in the right direction overall. It's just they stink. It's like, it all starts with defense. Really, that's where it all starts. And, if you don't play defense, you're going to have trouble beating and competing against the better teams. That's for sure. Not the easiest way, but the quickest way to get good is to concentrate on defense. Then you'll at least be competitive, give yourself a chance to win. I like Arizona +3 against Utah. I was going to give this out as a premium pick, but the Pac-12 has been so brutal to us, I just decided to spare everybody and just take Arizona on the show here as a pick. I was actually going to give it out as in the parlay, too, at picksandparlays.net. So I do my free parlay there on Thursdays when I always give out that 25% discount code. Same discount code today at picksandparlays.net and at Sports Chat Experts. It's Love25. It's Valentine's Day. I can feel the love. I got 3 thumbs down. I can just feel the love from these people. Anyways, 71% of the public on Utah, yet the line has moved from -4.5 to -3. And a lot of this has to do with Arizona just being a public, popular team. But, don't look now. The Wildcats have lost 5 games in a row. This is their 4th road game in their last 6. Meanwhile, Utah has won back-to-back games, beating the California teams, USC and UCLA, and covering in both those games. As a matter of fact, they were dogs. Home dogs in both of those games. So now they were home dogs in both those games. USC, who's, one of the worst road teams right in the country. They have 1 road win all season. And UCLA, who's, their coach was fired mid-season. Meanwhile, their other wins, Cal, Stanford, Anyways, these two teams played at Arizona. The game went to overtime. Arizona was favored by 8 points in that one. It ended up being decided by 3 points, and Arizona ended up winning. Generally, close game first time, blowout with the next time. I'm going to take Arizona in here and the 3 points. That'll be our 5th pick for today's show. Yeah, I think I'm ready for the Vermont hat and shirts and whatever. It's time. Well, I think maybe we should get maybe I should get a neck tat. What do you guys think of that? I'm not going to even ask you guys. Last time I asked you guys what I should do, I ended up with a gold tooth. And we're not going down that road again. Now I have 2 gold teeth. But I'm not doing that again. Because I know if I ask, hey, should I get a Vermont neck tat? It's like, yeah. It's like, we're not doing it. We're not doing the Vermont neck tat. We will get El Gato. What do you think of that? Brigham Young goes on the road to San Diego here. The Toreros, 16-9 on the season. It's always San Diego never gets any love, right? It's like San Diego State, love. San Diego, no love. Toreros 11-1 straight up at home, taking on BYU. Laid 3 points here. Of course, the line coming down from 3.5 to 3 was 63% of the public backing the Toreros, 6-5 against the number at home this season. BYU just 2-8 against the number on the road. Usually BYU, when they have problems, we know exactly where to look, and that's their defensive statistics, right? But this year's defense only allowing 63 points a game in their last 5 games. When we go to their road performance, though, BYU allowing 86.5 points a game on the road. You compare that to their last 5 where they're allowing 63. They're allowing 25 more points on the road this season than they've been averaging allowing. And, overall for the season, allowing 75 points a game. So allowing 8 more points overall. So more than 10% more points they allow on the road than at home. But BYU can always score. That's one thing that we know. They always have that in their back pocket. The Toreros coming off of, they've lost 2 of their last 3. One of those was to Gonzaga. They were getting 22.5. It doesn't matter, right? I mean, Gonzaga should play the Warriors. I think it would be a pretty good game. Gonzaga has to be in that, I think Gonzaga is one of those teams in everybody's bracket. Either you have them in the final game or you have them getting upset like in the Sweet 16 or something. Because this team is loaded. I mean, they, all Duke had players on or whatever, any way we want to slice it. But they beat them. They beat Duke right down the street. But anyways, Brigham Young has won 7 of their last 9 games. They're getting 3 points in this thing. It looks like a sucker bet, but you know what? We're suckers. I'll take BYU plus the 3. That'll be our 6th pick for today's show. You know what? I am feeling the love. It's Valentine's Day. Let's go one more pick. What do you guys think? I think I'm in. Maybe I'll throw in another side story about Phil Mickelson, or Phil Mickelson holding up $1.6 million. Right? It's like, I just noticed that they stopped doing it. It was like they always held up these giant checks, and then all of a sudden the purses are so big. It's like, there's no way they could have this guy, up there, with his Rolex on, holding up this $1.6 million check. It would look stupid. It's almost 1.7. I mean, we rounded down. It still doesn't sound good. I'm telling you, instead of the K count, they should have like a gas pump. How many, when Justin Verlander throws a pitch, $12,000. $12,000. Low ball. 12,000. Wild pitch, 12,000. Home run, 12,000. It's like every pitch he throws, it's just put 12,000 on the board. Because that's what he's making, right? 12 to 15,000. Well, we'll lowball it. Anyways. Let's get to another free pick. We can complain about this stuff all day. My parlay show. Yeah, Matt Kuchar won $1.5 million. He gave his caddy $5,000 and he's defending it. Instead of saying, hey, I'll give this much to the caddy retirement fund or, something like that. I mean, the thing for Kuchar to do there, if the guy said, I don't want the money or anything like that or, whatever happened, is what Kuchar could have done. What Kuchar could have done there is say, I'm going to take $200,000, so even more than the 10%. I'm going to take $200,000 and I'm going to give it to the caddy retirement fund. He would have got a charitable write-off, at least on the donation, too. It's like, but now Kuchar is an asshole, right? He's a cheapskate. That's what he looks like. I mean, here's a guy, he made $1.5 million. I mean, that's life-changing money for a Mexican caddy. Okay? A caddy in Mexico. It's life-changing money for any caddy. Caddies work, they have no insurance, they have no nothing. All caddies should get the same. I used to caddy for my friend in the U.S. Public Links Championship. It was fun. We used to have a blast. Played in the final group a couple times. Played with Hunter Mahan. Anyways, go one more pick here. Let's pick a winner, right? Boy, there's some bad teams out there. Thursday's always like that, like the teams that we know, but like if you're walking down the street, like if you walk into a bar, it's like, hey, can you turn on the Texas San Antonio Southern Miss game? They'll look at you like you got three heads, right? And for us, it's just Thursday. We don't care. I mean, UTSA Southern Miss throwing 3.5 points. It's like watching Duke Carolina as far as I'm concerned. I get the same excitement out of it. But we'll go to Arkansas State where the Red Wolves laying 4.5 points here against Texas State. Texas State 19-5 this season, 7-3 straight up on the road, 5-5 against the number. Meanwhile, Arkansas State 3-4 against the number at home, but this team is 1-9 straight up in their last 10 games, 3-7 against the spread. This game, on paper, what we have is a mismatch. These guys met at Texas State. Texas State winning by 13 in that one, 77-64, covering the 9.5 point number. Meanwhile, Texas State has won their last two games. Both those were at home. They lost to UTA and Georgia Southern, and outside of that, before that they had won 5 games in a row. Georgia State, the win over Arkansas State that we talked about, Little Rock, 1-point win at App State, 4-point win at Coastal. Meanwhile, when we look at Arkansas State, they beat Arkansas Little Rock. They beat App State in overtime. That game was at home where they were actually 2-point favorites in that game against App State. They didn't cover. This is a team that not only don't they win games, they don't cover either. We hate teams that don't cover. Arkansas State has covered the spread just one time in their last 9 games. They were getting 5 points against Arkansas Little Rock on the road. Won the game outright by 1 point. That is all they've done against the spread. You guys know, not our friends. We're gonna take Texas State here, and we're gonna lay the points, and that will be our final pick for today's show. Of course, we're going to recap the picks in just a second here. I want to just read through the comments real quick. Caddy agreed to even less than what he got prior to the tournament. Kuchar is being portrayed as a cheapskate when actually gave more money to the guy even though he got first place. So, Sean, what you're saying is that everybody else pays the caddy 10%, so Kuchar shouldn't. I mean, let's look at Matt Kuchar's career earnings while we got everybody here. Okay, I mean, it's going to take me a second because now we're going to have to Google it. But, I mean, this won't even include the endorsement. Matt Kuchar, career earnings, unless anyone knows this off the top of their head. Matt Kuchar has won $43.7 million. He's won $43.7 million. He was the highest earning PGA player without a major championship win. That is what he is. Yep. He is a tight ass. People like that, man, being cheap is not it's not a good thing. You could be efficient with your money, but being cheap and unkind, I mean, it's almost like stealing. Matt Kuchar is 10th on the all-time money list for the PGA Tour. Sergio Garcia has made $48 million. Matt Kuchar's made just below that. He is the 10th all-time leading moneymaker. I guess he was offered. He offered $20,000, and the guy said, "I don't want your $20,000." Matt Kuchar owed him $150,000, and that's what he should pay him. Yeah, $50 million shoe deal. It's nothing. It's nothing for these guys. It is nothing. And not only is it nothing, it's the price of admission. This is what you signed up for. Like when I get hammered on here with the thumbs down and the Mitch sucks and kill Mitch and Mitch is my bitch and all that stuff, this is what I signed up for. I know that. By coming on here, by doing the picks, by getting to watch sports and give out picks and bet on sports for a living, this is what I signed up for. Not everyone's going to like me. Some days people are going to like me. Some days those same people aren't going to like me so much. Some days I don't like my picks either, But this is what I signed up for, and that is what he signed up for. So you got to play by those rules. If that's what you signed up for, those are the rules you have to live by. We're pro Vermont. We're anti Matt Kuchar. Matt Kuchar sucks. That's what we're going to say. Anyways, we took the Knicks plus 8.5, the Magic minus 3, UIC Flames minus 4, South Dakota State minus 3.5, Arizona Wildcats plus 3, BYU Cougars plus 3, Texas State Bobcats minus 4.5, and Matt Kuchar, you suck. This is Mitch. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day, everyone. Go Vermont Catamounts. NCAA national champions. Too bad it's not an election. We could probably get them there.